Hi everyone, Janet here from The Real Deal. We are talking this week about how to research online courthouse case files to perform a due diligence search of a property on which you are interested in placing a bid at the courthouse foreclosure sale. When you are at the point that you have picked out a handful of properties for which you are interested, now you need to do your homework by doing your own title search and look for problems in the case file that might end up being your problem. This is always time consuming, so you have to learn how to be quick but thorough. In this 3-part video series, Phil is going to walk you through how to sift through the online legal information to help you make smart investing decisions. Be sure to sign up for the premiere of these videos as well as our future videos where we will be on hand live answering questions you may have on investing. So now here is Phil to continue the discussion.
It used to be that we'd go to the foreclosure sales and everybody was in one room and we're all bidding, you know, I'll bid this, give me that. This is actually happening on a computer. So one of two things is happening. Either these people have bid what they will initially, the max they want to pay for it, and the computer starts out at a certain amount, keeps increasing it by $100. It can take quite a long time. And then as these people reach their max, they have the opportunity to increase their bids by a certain amount. So this person has won this bid and the title is going to go into this entity. So I kind of track this information. I like to see who's putting the properties in their own names, who's putting in LLCs. I like to kind of glance and see, do I recognize these people that they bid? And I record that just to kind of get a feel for what they're bidding on. So let's go back to the docket and look at a few more things. Now you have to look a lot of these, and we're going to go through a lot of them on the videos, and I hope you watch them. That might be a little bit dry viewing, but it will give you a feel for what's successful, hopefully avoid some losses for you. But going through here, I like to look all the way back and see what happened. And well, I'll tell you what, let's go to the very beginning of the whole case. And here you have a lot of documents, particularly the complaint and the list pendants. The complaint is basically an attorney prepared document that'll give you an indication of who all's getting served. And that can be important, particularly with tax deed sales and this too. But again, this kind of plays into that if you're using a larger bank and they have an attorney, they tend to serve everybody just so they don't get egg on their face. But I don't always look, and in fact I rarely look at the list pendants because maybe I should, but I'm more focused here on the complaint. And the complaint will tell you a lot of things besides reconfirming the plaintiff name. Here now I've got, when it talks about the defendant, it's like this is a big long list, a lot longer than I realized at first. And so it's a good idea, particularly if you're looking to buy a property. Again, right now I'm just grabbing historical data, but if you're talking about buying a property, you kind of look here and say, well, why are all these people being named as defendants? So first things first, I'm gonna look and say, well, this is a plaintiff. It's not I told you I'm not big into bidding on properties that are brought by homeowner associations or other small entities. But this will tell you why everybody is being named as a defendant. So even names that aren't the owner of the property, it'll tell you why certain entities are being named. And I'm hoping there's not, I don't see one here. Okay, here you go. So the obvious would be that the owner is being named as a defendant because of their interest in the property. But also this clues you right here that there's a possibility. This isn't a good indication because I wouldn't be surprised if banks would go ahead and sue the tenants even if there were none. But you're going to talk about unknown parties in possession, unknown tenants in possession. And I don't see one here, but it's going to name other people who are being sued and why they're being sued. Here is a good one. Why is the clerk of the court being sued? Because of a public records document, a judgment against them. Why is this other person who's not even on the list of defendants being claimed? Because she has an interest in it. What I'd hoped I'd see here, maybe I'll have to catch you guys another one. Why is this Cash LLC has a claim to aforementioned property or reason of judgment? So the point being here is, if you go down, the complaint is good to look at, because if you go down it, you'll see other entities being sued, and what you're looking for is things like, is the county being sued? If the county is being sued, it's probably going to clue you off that there are code enforcement violations on it, and which you also would have picked up in public records, but maybe not very obvious. But if they're suing because what the attorney will do is they'll find things in public record like code enforcement violations, IRS liens, homeowner association liens, anything they find, they're going to likely name it right here or in the list pendants and say, then they're going to give you a description of why that entity is being sued. And it's important to you, again, if you want to know that they're being sued because they're being named a suit because the county has a code enforcement lien that you're going to have to deal with. And so these are all things, or the IRS has a lien that you're going to have to deal with. And you know, IRS liens, a lot of times it seems the docket will say, or the complaint will say that we're naming the United States government. Well, I don't know if that's the United States government being the Internal Revenue Service, which is concerning me, or just notifying the HUD secretary that this is being foreclosed. This is just something that you want to know. So if you're looking at these from a historical perspective to kind of just learn the process, look at that. If you're looking at a property that you want to buy, potentially bid on, definitely you want to know who's in the suit, who's being named, because all these people, this plays into, remember I told you, the three parts of success. It's not just whether you get your title, it's not just whether it's also whether you get possession and whether someone comes out of the woodwork later on. So you want to know if the IRS is being sued, because that's maybe something that comes out of the woodwork later on. Child support, that sort of thing. You want to know this. You're never going to be able to get a solid 100% guarantee, but if you're going to find something, this is probably the best source that you're going to find stuff that's going to come back to bite you later on. So great place to look, the complaint, then backing back out to the doc. If you look through here, I'm also looking for what's not in here. This looks like a pretty clean case, and I told you I play a little game that I write down based on my criteria of whether I would bid on a property or not bid on property. And if I'm looking at it with hindsight being 2020, I'm already aware this was a successful foreclosure, that the bidder received their title. But I like to apply my criteria. And my criteria, as I told you, if there's the slightest little bit of pushback from the defendants, I'm probably going to bail, particularly the owner of the property. So I'm also looking here for what's not here. If I don't see any motions from the owner to cancel the sale, to quash the sale, to come up with motions that the bank has to produce the original documents. If I don't see, I'm looking for suggestions of bankruptcy, mitigation workouts. All these say that all those point to a defendant, an owner that is trying to block that sale or trying to stall that sale or put off that sale. And if that's the case, I hope that they're able to keep their property, but I don't want to inherit the bank's problem. So I'm just going to, again, I'm more into just casting off false positives and suffering the false negatives. So again, I may have avoided some sale that others went on and bought and did quite well and were successful. But going through here, if you look, I don't see any problems with the sale. Motion for summary judgment, motion for default. Once you see the default, that's a pretty good sign that nothing happened. Here's a motion for a hearing. Okay, here you go. So, again, looking at this, and this will be the same if I'm looking back historically.
So there you go. We hope you found this informative. Be sure to join us next week for part 3 as we continue this discussion. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to sign up for our live question and answer sessions. See you real soon.